it's your boy. I'm back with another OBS plugin tutorial video. With this one, I've created a new script which allows you to add upcoming events. So it's like a countdown for upcoming events basically. So with this one, you get this plus button. You click it, it gives you the drop down form right here. This form gives you options of a unique ID. It has to be unique, the title, and the duration. The other options like execution type, I'll talk about this later, but by default it's always set to default. And there's the type, which is time event. There is layout, which is vertical and horizontal, placements, and all that stuff. So the title, the duration, and the unique ID are the ones that are required for this to work. This one's not saying required, but it is required. So right here, you can put any kind of ID here, but it has to be unique whenever you're creating a new event for this specific scene. In this case, I'm working on my test scene, which is this one right here. So that's why it's labeled here. So you click that, you give it that ID, and if you switch to a different scene, you can reuse this ID because you're in a different scene. But if you're in the same scene and you want to reuse the ID, it will not work. It will not allow you to reuse it in the same scene, but you could reuse it when you are in a different scene. Alright, so after that, the other one that's required is the title. So here I'm gonna put hello world, and then for the duration is hour minute. So let's say I want this to run for 10 seconds, I just do it like this. And then the last option is auto initialize. When you click this, it will make it so the sources are visible and you can position them wherever you want. By default, if you don't click the auto initialize, they will not be visible. They will only be visible after you click the hotkey for starting the events. And the way you'll find the hotkey is by going to the settings and then going to hotkeys, and this is where you'll find it. So I can put it Control A for start and Control B for stopping it. There we go. So if I click Control A, it should start running. There you go. So you can see right here, now it just started running the Hello World countdown. So this could be any kind of event that you want, and once it's done, it just stops just like that. So this is the first version of this script. Maybe in the future I'd like more options where you could get it to do something once this event is done. I don't know, display like confetti or something like that, like a video where it will play automatically once it's completed or something in that line. But once you click the submit button, it goes ahead and adds it to the current scene. So you can see right here, my test scene now has this hello world event and the countdown. And this checkbox, by default, you always have to check it, so that way once you click the hotkey, it's going to also run the event. But if it's unchecked, then that means it's not going to run when the hotkey is triggered. So you could add as many events as you want here. So in this case, now that I've added an event here, if you go back to the plus button, if you click it again and go to execution type, you will see there's another option called after. This after, once you click it, it will make it so this event that I'm adding will be executed once the 1, 2, 3, 4 event is completed. So the way this works is I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it has to be a unique ID. Let's say I put this on the bottom left. Actually, let's put it on the top right. And then the title will be hi there, right? For the duration, let's make it run for 5 seconds. For auto initialize, I'm not gonna click it because I want to show you guys the difference between auto initialize and not auto initializing. So if I click submit, you'll notice now we have 2 different events that are added. One of them is visible on the scene. The other one, which is hi there, is not visible. That's because with this one I clicked auto initialize. That's why it's visible and I could move it around. But if you didn't click auto initialize and you start the timer, the one that's not auto initialized will be automatically initialized once the timer is triggered. So the way you trigger the timer is, like I said, by adding the hotkey. Because I've already added the hotkey, I don't have to do that. And also this hi there will only execute once 1, 2, 3, 4 is completed. So if I click Control A, you'll notice the hello there is not visible and it's not added. That's because it will wait until this event is completed. So let's see what's gonna happen after this. Here we go, and there you go. So you can see now it added the new event right here, which just says hi there, and it's completed. There we go. And once that's done, it's just gonna stay there basically by default. Like I said, maybe in the next version of this script, I might add more options to do with it. You make it hide itself, things like that. For now, it's just gonna stay here until you do something about it. But yeah, and that is what the after event does. So you can see now I have 2 more options. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the events that I just added. So once you click them, the new event that you're going to add will be executed after that specific event is done, basically. So in this case, if I click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would mean for this event that I'm adding, it will have to wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will also have to wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 to be completed. So that's why this event will be executed once 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is completed. Then this event will also get executed. I'll show you guys how that works. So I just name it like that, and then we'll put on the top left. Why not? I'll call this is the last event in the chain list. Let's go with the horizontal for this one, just show you guys the difference, I guess. Over here, I'm gonna make it run for, let's do 10 seconds and submit. There we go. Of course, make sure you check this box. By default, this checkbox is going to be checked automatically. Right now, it's not doing that because I forgot to update the code, but once I release this, it should be updated, I think. Alright, so now, if I click Control A, again, it's going to start the time. So you can see right here, it's starting the first event, which is Hello World. So once this is completed, it's going to run this one. It's going to restart from beginning. There you go. So you can see here, we now have hi there. And once this is done, it runs the next one. This is the last event in the chain list, which is going to run for 10 seconds. So you can see this is still running. And there you go. And that's it. So that is how you use this script. Like I said, you could do a lot of chaining events if you want by just going to the exe type and then selecting one. So if I select the last one here, what's gonna happen is this new event that I'm adding, it will have to wait for the first one, the second one, the third one, and then it will get executed. That's because they're basically being chained together. But if I just select the one on top, that means it will execute after 1, 2, 3, 4 is done. That's what's gonna happen. So you could have like that kind of stuff going on, I guess, I don't know, things like that. But that's that really. The other thing you do is once you have added them, you could also, when you click the delete button, it will actually remove the sources that are added. So if I click delete, right, and delete this one, notice that there's nothing on the sources list. That's because I deleted everything that was created. And also on the list itself, there's nothing here too. That's because once you click the delete, it actually removes the whole thing and everything else basically. One thing I forgot to tell you guys about is whenever you switch to a different scene and you go back to the script, you will notice that this is still not updated. That's because you actually have to reload the script to see the changes. So you can see right here, now it's saying my test scene 2. And then if I go back to this one and look at the script again, you'll see it still says my test scene 2. You have to reload it to see the changes. The reason why this is the case is because of how OBS plugin is. The API itself is not well documented. They have a really bad documentation. You actually have to use ChatGPT sometimes to know what the fuck is going on because of how stupid the API is. It's just crazy. It's fucking annoying. But I'm just not gonna rant about it because if I do, I'm just gonna keep on going on about how fucking dumb shit the freaking OBS API is. They just need to fucking redocument the whole thing. God damn, it's so hard to use it. God shit. That's why it's so hard to make good plugins with the fucking API because they don't have a lot of documentations. It really sucks. I don't know what the heck is going on with them, but they need to figure that shit out. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. Whenever you switch to a different scene, make sure you reload it and it will actually display the contents and the events for that current scene. And also when you're switching to a different scene and you have the event running, it will actually stop those events from the previous scene and it will also run. So you have to actually trigger the hotkey again to run it if you're in a different scene. So for example, I'm now in this scene right here, my first scene. I'm gonna go ahead and add an event, right? Let's do test 1. I'll make it run for 10 seconds, submit, and then I'm gonna go to my other scene right here and then add another event. Of course, you can see it's still here. I have to reload the script and now it shows a different scene. With this one, if I click I'm gonna go ahead and give it ID for this one too. I'll call this test 2 and then give it 0. Let's do 5 seconds for this one. Submit, of course, make sure you check the box and we're good. So now I'm gonna go to test. I'm gonna stay on test 1 and click Control A. You notice test 1 is running, but if I switch to my first one, notice nothing is running here. And if I go back to this one, you will see this one is also not running because when you're switching to a different scene, the event that was previously running will also be terminated as well. So you have to go back here, and then if I click Control A again, This will run for test 1. Going back here, you see this one is not running, and go back here, you'll see this one is also not running. If I go back to test 2 and then I click Control A, it will restart from beginning. So whenever you're switching different scenes, that's what's going to happen basically. Make sure you know what you're doing, I guess. Other than that, that's really all there is to it. Maybe in the future I'll make it so whenever you switch in a different scene, it will resume the timer, but it will resume it for the current sources, like the current data that is set to this one, if the timer is still running. Because right now, whenever you switch, the timer has to be resetted for that current scene. So you can see right here, and then you have to also trigger it by clicking the hotkey that you have set. So thanks for watching this documentation. Hopefully it's not that long. Maybe I might cut some stuff up a little bit just to make it shorter. I don't know. That's gonna be all, I guess. Let's see. I don't think if I'm... Oh, one thing I guess show you guys is the other option you get here. So over here, if I reload the script, you see this is checked. So by default, if the event is running and you want to stop only one of them without deleting, you could uncheck the box. So if I click uncheck, you'll notice this one is not running anymore. That's because the box is unchecked. But if you check it, it will also not run, I think, because the timer stopped. But if I click Control A now, you'll notice it's running because the timer is running. But if I click uncheck again, it will stop. So the reason why you have to click Control A here is because everything else, I think, is because it's not running. That's why. Wait, why is it not running now? Control A. Oh shit. Wait. Oh, I think it's because I have to check it. That's why it's not running. So you have to check the box here. Oh, there we go. Now I see it's actually running. So by default, some of them will run, I guess. But let me see. Let's wait this to be completed. I'm gonna add another event for this one because I want to show you guys how this works if you have multiple options or multiple events. Hello. Let's put this on the top right because I don't want them to be overlaying each other. So I'm gonna put it on this side. Let's put the duration of this to 1 minute and then auto initialize. There we go. Also make sure it's checked right, just like that. Alright, so if I click Control A, you'll see they're both running, right? I'm gonna go ahead and stop one of them. I'm gonna stop this one. So if I stop this one, you'll notice this one is not running, but this one is right here. I unchecked this, but if I checked it, notice it will actually resume. So you can say, well, it shouldn't have resumed it from the start, but it actually restarts the whole thing because one of them is active. So if none of them are active and you click the uncheck, then that means you have to actually trigger the hotkey again by clicking the hotkey that you registered for starting, I guess. Notice this is still running, so if I check again, it's going to restart because the event is still active because this one is active. So if I disable this one and activate again, it's going to restart from beginning, which is probably not a good idea. But like I said, this is just an early release. There's no, it's just an early release for you guys to test it out. Maybe in the future, I might update this to make it more up to standards, I guess. Because right now, I had to actually make this shit in a hurry because I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, I think. Maybe like 1 week, I think. That's how long I've been working on it. It looks like it should be easy to do it, but it's taking me a while. So that's why I just need to get this shit out of there for you guys to try it out. And let me know how you guys like it. See what I'm saying? Alright, goodbye. Yes, so.